Hi everybody, I'm Laura. Welcome back to my channel. Today I'm going to work on a project using the April 2023 Bargain Bead Box. It is Spring Blossom Collection. It is absolutely beautiful, filled with quartz, rose quartz, and gold accents. It is beautiful. Today the piece I'm going to work on is using the absolutely beautiful pendant. It is this one here. It is absolutely gorgeous. I love this pendant. I'm trying to keep myself upbeat. I live in an apartment complex, and I gotta say, people here are just rude and obnoxious, and I've had this problem ever since I moved in here, and it just is what it is. And I'm so looking forward to the day where I can get out of here. This isn't the first time someone has come through and destroyed my flowers. And everybody else's flowers are out here, but they came and chopped off all of my irises. So I'm just trying to keep myself upbeat. But anyways, I'm going to turn you guys around, and look at these beautiful beads and make a beautiful necklace, and I'm going to bring you guys along with me. Bargain Bead Box. I do have a code. It is Dragonfly2, all in capital letters. This saves you $2 off either your first month subscription or $2 off in the store if you choose to shop. And the link is in the pinned comments and in the description box below. Click that link and then put in the code Dragonfly2. When you go to checkout, it'll ask if you have a code, and that will save you $2. And I appreciate it very much. And I'm going to just go ahead, and we're going to get right into this. Okay, so for this project, I'm going to make, because this is such a beautiful piece, I'm going to use just keep it as simple as possible. And I'm also going to grab my wire. I'm just simply going to use some silver beading wire. This is 0.3 millimeter. I used to have, and it came up missing, I used to have some actual bead-on 7-strand, but it came up missing, like I said. That's what happens when people come to your house and they walk off with things. Anyways, I'm going to be using some of that, and I'm also going to be using this absolutely gorgeous rose quartz faceted around pendant, and it is brass, and this is beautiful. I do have my lights and stuff on. It looks like it's really dark. I either have to have the windows open and then we have all that, you know, from the blinds, or have my lights. I mean, my lights are on. It is what it is. It's a catch-22. Either I'm going to have the lines from the blinds across everything, or I'm going to have it look kind of dark. And then I'm also going to be using these matte pink Aventurine round beads. I'm going to be using several of these, and I'm also going to be using some of these crimpet tubes. They're quite large. I hope that they work. They're the only ones I have. I also have from the March box, I have these really nice corrugated spacer beads. These looked better than what was here. And then I have some Guardians. I'm going to be using those. And then I have a length of chain. This is the chain also from the March box, I believe. It may not be. I know this might be from my own stash, because the March box is very dainty. So this might be from my own stash. We're going to use a length of chain. I have some jump rings. It looks like 6 millimeter and 8 millimeter. And then I have a gold toggle clasp. This is it's not real heavy, but it is a heavier piece. I am going to add a jump ring to this. So what we're going to do is just simply going to be bead stringing. If you notice that some of these have like a little bit of like a dark on it, just give it a rub like that. And sometimes you may have to go ahead and scrape. It is just where these have rubbed against machines and things like that, and it comes right off. So don't look at them and say, oh my God, there's some black. This is actually like in the bead. Isn't that gorgeous? I love that natural lines and stuff. So don't fret when you see that there's like something on your bead. It comes right off, guys. Like here's another one. Just give it a little bit of rub or scrape, and that might actually be, oh, that's actually in the bead. Isn't that gorgeous? I love it when you see like inclusions or something like that in the beads. They're beautiful. Like this, you know, this is from just, and it comes right off. See that? Now, if you did this to like a painted bead, you'd be taking the surface of the bead off. So don't be afraid to clean up your beads a little bit. That's why I love natural beads. So anyways, what I'm going to do is go ahead and lay out how I'm going to do this. And I'm going to put these right back in here. And what I plan on doing is, because I have a variety of these, I have some that are pretty clear. We're going to put the more clear ones towards the bead like that. And then we're going to put this pinkish one here, this pinkish one here. These two really white ones are going to be way out on the edge. I think that's how we're going to do this. And then, of course, we're going to have these beads in between each of them. And I always make sure I have one extra of each item out in hand. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and get a length of this. And I always make sure I have extra of this. I don't worry about, you know, I'm going to need some crimping tools, some pliers. There's my cutters. I was going to buy some new cutters and Walmart did not have any. So the first thing I'm going to do is I'm literally going to put a crimp tube and it's a gold colored crimp tube. I'm going to grab my wire guardian. I'm going to go up and around. And because I'm going to be using a jump ring to fasten my chain with, I'm not going to worry about what's the word I'm looking for? I'm not going to worry about putting my my brain, guys. I'm just so flustered. I'm not going to worry so much about putting my jump ring in here. I am going to squeeze my wire guardian down. So that it's not sticking out so much. It just looks much more cohesive. I'm going to pull all of my wires so that they're down in the wire guard correctly, so they don't stick out. And then I'm going to grab my crimp tube, my crimp tool, and it has a divot and a upper part. I'm going to put my crimp tube in the hollow, and I'm going to squeeze down with my, so that they're separate and both wires are in the separate little tube. Now we're going to turn it. And squeeze. And it's folded or across our fingers. and it is tight. All right, now I am going to leave that tail just because for my own, thoughts, just me, guys, okay? I know a lot of people doesn't feel that it's necessary, but for me, I like that safety of having that extra tail. So I'm adding one of these, now my brain is not working. One of the spacer beads from the March box, and I'm going to add my tail because I want it to go through at least one extra bead. And then I'm going to pull it back because I see I have a ton extra. So I'm going to trim off a bunch. So I'm going to trim off probably about that much if my cutters will allow it. Yeah, if I wanted cutters, I had to buy a whole kit for $20, and I did not have that much money. So, and I looked at the electric area. Our electric area is not very good, and the electric part, you had to purchase like big bulky ones that just was not going to happen. So I'm going to go ahead and bead string, just very simply one of these 10mm matte pink Aventurine, and then another gold spacer bead, another one of these, another spacer. These come up better if I just lay it down. Another one of these, spacer bead, Aventurine, spacer, Aventurine. Now this is my last one here at the center. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to add 2 spacer beads. 1 and 2. And I'm also going to be placing ahead of time this, I believe it's an 8mm jump ring, and it is going to be nestling. Get out from underneath all of these tools. As you can see, it will be, when I'm done, it will actually nestle right over the center between those two with the pendant hanging from it. And that will keep that pendant from hanging just straight on the wire. So we're going to go ahead and continue beading, just like we did on the other side. Just like so. Now I'm going to get my jumper, or my space, my crimp tube, and I'm going to grab my wire guardian. I'm going to go ahead and bring it all the way down as far as I can right at the moment, give myself room to work here. Gonna let that crimp tube come all the way down. And I'm going to back my wire guardian up just a little bit because my crimp tube kind of disappeared on me. My wire guardian kind of wanted to go into it. So let me get my crimp tube, my wire into my crimp tube. I have a lot of wire here, but I'm afraid if I cut it, I crossed it. Hold on, guys. Get back a hold of it. My wire's wanting to crisscross in my hand. There we are. I'm pulling it snug now on it, and I gotta back this back up a second because I wanted my wire over here to go down inside of my beads, and it came back out. It went down inside of that one, but it didn't get a hold of my pliers. Let me grab this. And if I can't get it to go down in, that's okay. I'll just trim it off. There we go. Push them all back down. And my light just died. They'll be all right. We're almost done here. I think you guys can still see me good. So we have all of this. And it's still pretty much moving. My biggest issue is I don't want space there. So I'm going to go ahead and everything looks good. I'm going to hold this wire so that it doesn't creep away from me. I'm going to squeeze down my wire guardian. Make sure all this is tight. And there was still a lot of looseness in the beads. I had a lot of space. Do you see this, guys? I have two beads right there. I'm not sure why. Hold on. Okay, I realized I forgot to turn the camera back on. All right, I fixed where I had two beads for some reason. I don't know why. I must have scooped up two. And I went ahead and took it off and put a different wire guardian on and went ahead and crimped. I'm going to go ahead and trim my tail. Hopefully this will trim. I'm having such a hard time with these cutters. There we go. And it's loose, but it's not so loose that there's spaces. Now, we're going to get that out of the way. There's my extras. Those are destroyed. Get that out of the way. Now, I am going to go ahead and add, I might look for some smaller jump rings to add a chain on with. Hold on a second. Let me pause you. Okay, I did find some smaller jump rings. I lost an entire box of findings one day going to my car. So I'm kind of low on bindings, and yeah, the end of this month when I get my YouTube pay, I'll have to go buy some. This is just from my stash. It's Walmart chain. I didn't want to use the 18 karat gold chain on a piece that's not going to have a lot of 18 karat gold. I wanted to save that for a more high-end piece. I wanted to keep all the high-end pieces, you know, with all high-end stuff. So what I'm going to do is measure this, because I want this to be about 20 inches. So we have, by the time I add jump rings, it's going to be somewhere around 7 inches. So I want to add a 13-inch piece of chain. Oops, sorry about that, guys. So by the time I add the toggle clasp, the lobster clasp and everything, I'm going to cut this chain off right about there. Maybe I want to go 21 inches. So somewhere around here, I'm going to go ahead and cut this. That's going to leave me plenty to use like on a bracelet or something. So I'm going to go ahead and cut this. And this is what I'm going to use. What I'm going to do is open up this jump ring. And ladies, if you ever get a chance to go to like swap meets and things, you'd be surprised what you can find. I found these at a swap meet. Now, they're not as thin as I like. One edge is, and one edge is a little thicker, but they also had some nylon jaw pliers, but they were kind of well worn and cracked. So, you know, you guys use them on things, and they're a little rougher than us women would be. You know, we make jewelry. They make heavy duty, you know, they work on heavy duty tractors and tools and stuff, you know, so I'm just going to slide this right on there. And we're going to close this up. But I only paid $2 for these. They don't have the box hinge like I'd like. This is just a, you know, regular hinge. But, you know, for $2, I'm not going to complain. I'm going to close this up. Feel that click. Get it to come back. There we are. I like to run my jewelry across it, especially my chain. Sometimes give it a little bit of squish. And then I'm going to come over to the other side. And these Walmart ones, they never line up right. But, you know, it is what it is. Guess it's not open far enough. Always go sideways, never pull. Ah, come on. Work with me here. There's that. Put on the oops. And then I'm going to lay this out so it's even. Then what I'm going to do is I'm going to find the center of this chain. And I'm going to cut it. Oops. Just like that. Well, I know I cut it. There it goes. The links didn't want to come apart. And then where I cut the center, I will add the toggle clasp. Whoops. Put the lobster on. Close it up. And then I don't think this is actually going to fit through that little link. Get a hold of this one. Open it up. Oh, I thought I had it where it was going to open. See that? Somebody just walked in front of my window. Let's get this out of the way for a second. That means they crossed in front of my patio. Okay. Let me double check that because it's not closed. Okay, we're going to go ahead and close this. Now the last part is we're simply going to attach with this jump ring right here. Find the opening. There it is. And I drop it. We're going to add the pendant. Then we're going to close it right back up. Just like that. And then we have it completed. I love how this turned out, guys. This is beautiful. Get it to focus. I love how it turned out. It is absolutely beautiful. And why is my camera filming in the wrong direction? I hope that doesn't distort it. I'm so sorry, guys. It is absolutely gorgeous. I love how this turned out. Guys, thank you for watching, and I hope that with it suddenly filming in the opposite direction, it did not distort the video. Yeah, I don't know when it's decided to switch. Thank you guys for watching. This is an absolute gorgeous piece. It turned out wonderful. Let me get these out of the way. Thank you for hanging out with me, and I know I had a struggle there. I'll talk to all of you guys in the comments below. Bye, everybody.